Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So in the previous video, we saw how the for loop uh, executes in Python. Now in this video, we are going to talk about the while loop. So the while loop syntax, let's see the syntax. It's while condition and block of code. So what generally while loop does is it will evaluate this condition. If this condition is true, then execute this line of code. So let's see, we want to print number 1 to 5, right? So you will say let's print 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that. Right now I want it in a more traditional programmer approach way, right? How you will do it in Python. Let's take an integer I equal to 1 while I is less than or equal to 5, right? Print I. Now I plus equal to 1, right? So what we are doing here is the loop starts with 1, right? I is 1 here. So while 1 is less than or equal to 5, right? That's the correct condition, right? It executes, it prints 1 here. Then what this condition here it does is it will iterate the value of I by 1, right? So I will become 2. Similarly, it will become 3, 4, 5. And when the execution, when the condition becomes false, it will come out of the loop. So this is how the while loop runs. So let's run it, and it will execute from 1 to 5. Right. Similarly, you can do another way for strings also, right? You can execute the same code for strings also. Let's say I take a count variable, right? The famous one, count. While count less than or equal to 5, print hello, count is equal to 1. Why? So it prints, executes, and it will print hello 5 times, right? So it is always one thing to note is it is always as a programmer you have to make sure your loops, whenever you create loops, they execute in a respective conditions, right? Make sure they also have a condition where it ends. It is not a good practice or not a good behavior to make sure that to make your loop run in infinite loops, right? So what I'm saying is, like, you make sure that the loop runs continuously, so that not only impacts your application, it impacts a lot of things on the program, right? So also it's bad practice until and unless you really need some kind of validation, right? That also is, it is never possible. You will need that in production. So this is how the while loop works in. As always, I always urge you all to do a lot of practice with loops, see how it works, play around with many things, create a lot of questions, uh, and as always, if you have any doubts, any questions, let me know, comment, and I will see you in the next one. Any questions, see you around. Okay.